There is a silent war happening inside every human being. It is not fought with weapons. It leaves no visible scars. No one hears the screams. Yet it decides who you become. This war is fought inside your mind and soul. One side wants safety, the other wants truth. One wants comfort, the other demands honesty. Question: is this the same war we call good versus evil? There are moments when one voice tells you to stay quiet, to follow the crowd, to do what benefits you the most, to choose the easy path, and another voice tells you something feels wrong. Question: if both voices are inside you, which one is really you? When you lie and gain something from it, the world rewards you. People call you smart, successful, practical. Question: why does success sometimes feel empty? And when you tell the truth, you often lose. You lose comfort, you lose approval. Sometimes you lose people. Question: why does truth often come with a cost? Psychology calls this an inner conflict. Religion calls it the battle between the soul and the ego. Philosophy calls it the divided self. Different names, same experience, a constant tension inside you. Question: why has humanity always described itself as divided? The darker side of you wants results now. It wants control. It wants power. It wants to win no matter the price. It hates patience. Question: why does the darker side always rush? The brighter side speaks quietly. It doesn't force, it doesn't threaten. It simply reminds you. And because it whispers, it is often ignored. Question: why do we ignore the voice that feels right? Every small decision strengthens one side. Every excuse feeds the darker part. Every honest act strengthens the lighter part. You are shaping yourself every day, even when you think nothing matters. Question: are small choices secretly shaping your destiny? Some people never feel this war. They live comfortably. They don't question their actions. They don't question reality. They don't question themselves. Question: is ignorance peace or just deep sleep? Others feel this battle every night. They question their thoughts. They question their motives. They question their place in the world. They feel different. Question: what if feeling different means you are more aware? This is not weakness. This is not confusion. This is awareness beginning to awaken. An awakening is never comfortable. It demands responsibility. Question: are you ready to face what awakening requires? As awareness grows, the inner war becomes louder. You begin to notice patterns. Repeating mistakes, familiar pain, cycles you promised yourself you would break. Question: why do we repeat what we already know hurts us? The darker side doesn't always look evil. Sometimes it looks logical. Sometimes it sounds intelligent. It justifies harm in the name of survival. It convinces you that everyone else does the same. Question: is evil always obvious, or is it often reasonable? The brighter side rarely argues. It doesn't negotiate with excuses. It simply presents truth and steps back. It allows you to choose freely. That freedom is terrifying. Question: why does real freedom feel so heavy? Many people silence the brighter side early in life. They are taught not to feel too much, not to question authority, not to challenge systems, not to trust their inner voice. Question: who benefits when people stop questioning themselves? Over time, the inner war becomes numb. The conscience fades. Actions feel automatic. Life becomes routine. The soul goes quiet. Question: is numbness a form of death? But some people can't turn it off. No matter how hard they try, they feel guilt deeply. They feel injustice personally. They feel pain that isn't even theirs. Question: why do some people feel more than others? These people are often called too sensitive, too emotional, too intense, too complicated. But sensitivity is not weakness. Question: what if sensitivity is actually perception? Pain becomes their teacher. Failure becomes a mirror. Loss becomes a doorway. Each breakdown strips away illusion. Each collapse reveals truth. Question: why does growth always come through discomfort? The inner war intensifies during isolation. When distractions disappear, when noise fades, when you sit alone with your thoughts, that's when truth rises. Question: are you afraid of silence, or what silence reveals? Some people escape this war through addictions, others through endless work, some through relationships, some through religion without reflection. Anything to avoid facing themselves. Question: what do you use to avoid your inner conflict? But avoidance never ends the war. It only delays it. The cost increases with time. The conflict returns stronger and more demanding. Question: what happens if you keep postponing self-awareness? The inner war is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to refine you. to separate truth from illusion, to reveal your real values, to shape your character. Question: are you fighting this war or learning from it? Those who face it honestly become different. Not superior, not perfect, just more real, more conscious. Question: what would change if you stopped pretending? At some point, the inner war becomes impossible to ignore. You realize it's not about right or wrong anymore. It's about awareness versus unconsciousness, presence versus autopilot. Truth versus comfort. Question: what if good and evil are less important than awareness? The darker side feeds on unconsciousness. It grows when actions go unquestioned, when habits run on repeat, when emotions are suppressed, when responsibility is avoided. Question: does darkness need permission or just neglect? The brighter side requires courage. Courage to pause, courage to feel, courage to admit fear, guilt, and uncertainty, courage to choose integrity without guarantees. Question: why does integrity feel risky in a dishonest world? Many people confuse control with strength. They dominate conversations, they manipulate outcomes, they suppress emotions, they call it power. Question: is control the same as strength or its opposite? True strength looks quieter. It looks like restraint. It looks like patience. It looks like walking away when ego wants revenge. It looks like choosing peace over victory. Question: why does real strength rarely get recognition? The inner war exposes illusions about identity. You realize you are not your thoughts, not your impulses, not your fears, not even your past. Question: if you are not your thoughts, then who are you? This realization can feel destabilizing, like losing the ground beneath your feet. Old identities collapse, old beliefs dissolve. Certainty disappears. Question: why does awakening feel like losing yourself? Many turn back at this stage. They choose familiar pain over unknown truth. They rebuild old identities. They silence the inner voice again. They return to sleep. Question: why is the unknown more frightening than suffering? But some continue, not because it's easy, but because pretending becomes impossible, because truth demands expression, because awareness cannot be undone. Question: what happens once you can no longer unsee reality? These individuals often feel isolated. They don't fit neatly into systems. They don't accept surface-level answers. They question authority, norms, and themselves. They live between worlds. Question: is loneliness the price of consciousness? Their inner war becomes a source of wisdom. They understand contradictions. They hold complexity. They resist extremes. They see both sides clearly. Question: what if the war itself is shaping wisdom? They stop labeling themselves as broken. They stop seeking external validation. They start observing instead of reacting. They start responding instead of exploding. Integration begins. Question: what changes when you stop fighting yourself? As integration begins, the inner war changes its form. It no longer feels like a battle to win. It feels like a dialogue to understand. You stop trying to destroy parts of yourself. You start listening to them. Question: what if nothing inside you needs to be eliminated? The darker side carries raw energy, anger, desire, ambition, survival instinct. Question: what if darkness is just power without direction? When this energy is rejected, it becomes destructive. When it is suppressed, it leaks out unconsciously. But when it is acknowledged and guided, it becomes fuel. Fuel for growth, boundaries, and courage. Question: what happens when you stop fearing your darker emotions? The brighter side brings clarity, compassion, discernment, purpose, but without grounded strength, it becomes passive. Question: can light exist without strength to protect it? Integration is the union of both. Power guided by awareness, compassion protected by boundaries, emotion balanced by responsibility. This is where wholeness begins. Question: why are we never taught how to integrate ourselves? Society rewards extremes. Aggression is praised as leadership. Silence is mistaken for weakness. Obedience is confused with morality. Balance is rarely celebrated. Question: who benefits from unbalanced individuals? An integrated person is difficult to control. They are not easily manipulated by fear. They are not driven by blind desire. They are not desperate for approval. They see clearly. Question: is this why true self-awareness feels threatening to systems? With awareness comes responsibility. You can no longer blame circumstances. You can no longer blame others. You recognize your choices, even the ones you avoided making. Question: are you ready to take responsibility for your life? This responsibility can feel heavy. There is no one to hide behind. No illusion to escape into. No story to justify self-betrayal. Only truth remains. Question: why does truth feel heavier than lies? Yet with this weight comes freedom. Freedom from inner chaos. Freedom from constant regret. Freedom from unconscious patterns. Freedom from self-deception. Question: is freedom worth the discomfort it demands? An integrated person still feels pain, still feels fear, still feels doubt, but they are no longer controlled by it. They move with awareness.
Question: what would change if emotions stopped controlling you?
This is not enlightenment, this is not perfection. This is maturity of consciousness. The ability to hold contradiction without collapse. The ability to stay present. Question: is this what real growth looks like? In the end, the inner war never truly disappears. It evolves as you evolve. Each stage of life presents new choices, new temptations, new responsibilities. Question: what if this war is not a curse, but a guide? Those who deny it live on autopilot. They repeat patterns without reflection. They inherit beliefs without examination. They follow paths they never chose. And they call it life. Question: is a life without awareness truly living? Those who face the war consciously live differently. They move slower, they question more. They listen deeply, they act with intention. Question: what would your life look like if you lived consciously? Awareness does not make life easier, it makes it clearer. And clarity demands change. Change demands courage, courage demands sacrifice. Question: what are you willing to sacrifice to live honestly? You will lose certain identities, certain relationships, certain illusions, but what you gain is alignment, and alignment brings peace. Question: is peace more valuable than belonging? An aligned person no longer seeks validation. They no longer chase approval. They no longer fear standing alone. They trust their inner compass. They walk their own path. Question: are you brave enough to walk alone if needed? This is not about being good. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. About choosing awareness over avoidance, truth over comfort. Question: what if being real is the highest form of morality? The inner war becomes a teacher, a mirror, a guide, not an enemy, not something to escape. Question: what if your struggle has always been shaping you? Every moment offers a choice. To react or respond, to numb or feel, to hide or face, to sleep or wake up. Question: which choice are you making right now? If this message feels personal, it's not an accident. Awareness recognizes itself. Truth resonates beyond words. And something inside you already knows. Final question: will you continue fighting yourself? Or will you finally understand what this war is trying to teach you? Does this happen to you too? Share your valuable thoughts in the comments below. If this video resonated with your soul, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who are ready to wake up.